Mobile Legend players say Fanny alone makes their game the hardest, while Rift players say real skill is macro, and Honor of King players claim that they have both. So, which mobile MOBA actually takes the most skill? To find out, we are going from the hardest mechanics to everything these games forces you to learn, whether one broken player can carry 4 teammates. And honestly, Mobile Legend has a pretty convincing argument because this is Fanny. Her entire job is to basically turn your phone into a flight simulator. Understanding her takes about 5 seconds. Cable hits a wall, Fanny flies towards it. Easy. However, doing this might require sacrificing several years of your life. And she is not alone. Link jumps between walls. Lancelot can chain dashes through an entire team. Benedetta charges her basic attack into another dash. And Chow player somehow turned Flicker into part of every combo known to mankind. So mechanically, Mobile Legends should win this easily, right? Well, Honor of King has Zing, and unlike Fanny, even understanding what Zing is doing feels like a part of challenge. She creates a mirror image, resets her skills, swap positions, and if you time everything perfectly, you get this. The famous Z combo, which basically turns one team fight into a geometry lesson. But here's the weird part. Once I understood how Zinc actually worked, she didn't feel impossible anymore. She started reminding me of heroes like Lancelot, Ling, or Benedetta. Learn the pattern, practice the timing, and eventually your fingers figure it out. The problem is Honor of King really doesn't like mistakes. Missing the timing, enter a team fight at the wrong moment, or waste one important skill, you get a free teleport back to base. Then there is Wild Rift, and yes, this game has plenty of finger-breaking champions too. Lee Sin has dashes, skill shots, animation combos, and approximately 17 different ways to kick you into somewhere you never wanted to be. But the champion that explains Wild Rift's difficulty better is Viego, because when Viego kills you, he can literally steal your body and use your abilities. Which means playing Viego isn't just about mastering Viego, you need to know what everyone else does. And this is where the whole argument starts falling apart. Mobile Legend can demand ridiculous speed and precision. Honor of King makes execution incredibly punishing, and Wild Rift can make knowledge itself part of your mechanics. So picking the hardest hero isn't enough because one insane hero doesn't make an entire game difficult. To see which game is the hardest, we need to see how hard these games are actually to understand. Chapter 2, Understanding the Game. And this is where Mobile Legends makes life suspiciously easy. Total spawns, the game basically screams at you. Lord shows up, same thing, big announcement, obvious objective, and 5 teammates suddenly running towards the same part of the map. Even if you have no idea what you are doing, Mobile Legends is pretty good at telling what you should be doing. And that simplicity is everywhere. The interface is easy to read. Recommended builds can basically shop for you. Targeting assist with your attack, and most heroes explain themselves pretty quickly. For example, take Layla. Stay far away, farm, and shoot people until their health bar vanishes. You can understand the idea almost immediately, even if actually positioning her properly still takes skills. And that's Mobile Legends' biggest strength here. It removes a lot of friction between understanding the game and actually playing it. Honor of King was much weirder when I first switched over. Because the map looked familiar, the lanes made sense, jungle rotation wasn't exactly alien technology, and then I opened the item shop. Suddenly, every icon looked like something I was supposed to recognize from a test I forgot to study for. I also had no idea which heroes were meta, which one were easy, or which innocent looking character was about to erase my entire health bar. Turns out that one. But the surprising part is that it didn't stay confusing for very long. After 3 to 4 matches, a lot of it started clicking, because if you have already played Mobile Legend or any MOBA, a lot of Honor of Kings speak a language you already understand. It feels less like learning a new language and more like learning the same language with different accent. Then I played Wild Rift. Going from Mobile Legend to Wild Rift felt like getting promoted from Mobile MOBA to PC department. Even jungling immediately felt different. Camps took longer, rotation felt more deliberate, and I couldn't just turn my brain off and speedrun towards the nearest low HP enemy. And laning felt way less forgiving. Walk too far forward just to clear wave. And congratulations, you have successfully cleared yourself instead. And the Wild Rift gave me another job, vision. You can place wards around bushes and objectives to actually see who is coming. But some vision tool can be found and destroyed. So now you are not just watching enemies, you are fighting over information. There are even plants that reveal huge section of the map. Can they see me? Can I see them? Did they clear our vision? Is this bush safe? And all of that becomes even more important when an objective spawns, because Wild Rift fight felt more deliberate to me. Instead of everyone immediately jumping in, teamfight would poke, position, set up vision, and basically stare at each other until somebody makes a move. Knowing when to engage, when to back off, where the enemy could be, and whether fighting is even worth it felt much more important than I used to. And none of these things are impossibly difficult on their own. The problem is, Wild Rift keeps asking you to think about all of them, while 5 people are actively trying to murder you. So, when it comes to simply learning what this game expects from you, I finally had a clear answer. Mobile Legend is easiest to understand, and that's not an insult. The game is incredibly good at removing unnecessary friction. Honor of King asks you to learn more, but if you have played another MOBA, a surprising amount feels familiar. Wild Rift? That feels like the game handed me homework before letting me queue. So Wild Rift wins, right? Not even close, because understanding a MOBA and actually winning one are two completely different problems, especially when your teammates look like this. And this is where Mobile Legends has a completely different advantage. Take Layla. Early game, she has no dash, very little mobility, and what bad position can turn her into free gold. But later farm and somehow survive long enough, and suddenly Layla has acquired nuclear weapons. And this isn't just Layla. Mobile Legends gives individual players a ridiculous amount of room to take over a match. A Fade marksman can melt an entire team, an assassin can snowball out of control, and sometimes one player getting enough farm is all it takes to drag 4 questionable life forms across the finish line. And the weirdest part is that even being massively ahead doesn't guarantee anything. I have seen teams led by thousands of gold take one horrible team fight and suddenly the entire match flips. All 3 games punish mistakes, but Mobile Legends fast fight and late game damage made those swings feel especially violent to me. Honor of King still lets you become the main character. Go ahead on the right hero and you can absolutely take over. But the higher rank I went, the less it felt like I could simply force every teamfight myself. Engage at the wrong time? Dead. Use the important skill too early? Dead. Trust a random teammate who just spammed attack 6 times? Also dead. Honor of King gave me individual carry potential, but it felt more dependent on choosing the right moment to use it. And then Wild Rift. Wild Rift found an even simpler solution to my carry plan. Sometimes it wouldn't even give me the lane I wanted. You can choose your preferred lane, but matchmaking doesn't guarantee your first choice. But even when I did get my role, Wild Rift felt like the hardest of the 3 to brute force by myself. You can be fed, but positioning still matters. Walk somewhere stupid and your career doesn't provide immunity. And because vision, objectives, engage timing and team positioning matter so much, being the strongest player doesn't mean 4 teammates suddenly become optional. So, if I had one good player and completely average teammates, this is the order I would personally want to carry in. Mobile Legends give me the most individual agency, Honor of King sits somewhere in the middle, and Wild Rift makes me pray somebody else on my team also knows what they are doing. But now we have a problem. Mobile Legends was easiest to learn, Wild Rift was hardest for me to solo carry. and Honor of Kings kept landing somewhere between them. But none of that tells us which game actually takes the most skill, because there is a massive difference between being difficult for a new player and being difficult when everyone in the lobby has thousands of hours. So, forget beginners. What happens when everybody is good? At this level, nobody needs the game explained to them anymore. Everyone knows their hero, everyone knows the objective, everyone knows what happens if they make a stupid mistake. So now the question changes. Which game actually gives a great player the most room to become even better?